We went to lunch and wine at a local designer's house. She was the good-looking one. She was tall. She had short, flowing blonde hair, and it kind of flew over her forehead casually. And she just was a nice-looking lady. And there was 2 canaries singing in the other room. And I think we were eating in the one room there. I'm not sure. But we were sitting down. I think we ate there. Yes, we did. She had her stylish, tall model girls. They had all the show clothes, and they were out of this world. They were so beautiful, but what can we do with them? They're tall and have high heels, and we're short and squat. We would look, it would be hanging behind us. We are in Tashkent, the Hotel Uzbekistan. And guess what? The music show was canceled because it was too cold. I backed out, Betty backed out, and I guess too many people backed out. Now, here we have a cemetery again. I think that we're obsessed with cemeteries. The cemeteries have a few stones with pictures and many dirt mounds with no markers, although some have flowers. The snow-capped mountains are getting closer and closer, and they are so beautiful. Now, we went to the Urgut market. What in heaven's name does Urgut, U-R-G-U-T? God, it sounds like the innards of an animal. Urgut. It doesn't sound good to me. But the market was packed with carpets, pieces of silk clothes, shoes, food, anything you could ever imagine you would want or need. Oh, my Lord, it's just unbelievable. You never get to see the whole thing because your eyes are worn out before you get halfway through. Now we're driving, and we see the high green hills with the cattle. We see them and the walking trails back and forth down the hills. Centuries-old buildings made of bricks of clay, made of wattle and sand. And we never see a cat. And we see very few dogs, hardly ever. They're on leashes. And we never see roadkill. I'm looking every time we drive in the bus. No roadkill. I can go out in front of my house and there's roadkill. No roadkill. So what does that say to you? It says to me, Pearl, eat rice and vegetables. And I do. We saw our very first train, the only train we saw on the whole trip, only one, and we went over the tracks. Oh, I could, our first and only train. Isn't that amazing? And now we are in Tashkent. Well, I told you we were, but we're there. And it's a very large city, very modern, and it has a subway. Can you imagine? I was so disappointed. There was no time, well, at least I felt that there was no time to go on the subway. I've never been on a subway. I live in Arkansas, so that we don't have subways here. We're lucky we have roads. Our room at the hotel is almost a suite. It's beautiful. And we are going to Mr. Ugbar's, O-U-G-B-A-R-S, Mr. Ugbar's house. He is a master potter, and he will show us his display, and we will have dinner there, and I am sure he will have something to sell. He's got to have something to sell. It was the grandfather who was a master potter, and he's dead, but the father is still alive, master potter, and the son, almost a master potter. They do beautiful work, the very best, and everybody bought something. They had a table all filled with little bowls, and you could buy a couple of little bowls, and that was nice because you felt like, oh, at least I have a little bit of, you know, you can always put something in it. There's oodles of things to use it for. So, trivia. Uzbekistan was founded in 1964, a long time ago. Is that true or not? I was told that. And now we have Udmula, Udmula. Udmula is our guide, and she will show us Tashkent, and she does. We see food vendors on every corner. Wish we could stop and eat the food. Dandelions are all over the place. White and purple lilacs are in bloom, and oh, they smell so sweet. I love that. I can smell them now. All the trees are painted white about 3 feet up the trunk. Now, I'm going to assume they are for bugs. No one ever said, and I was going to ask, and something happened, and I didn't ask. But anyway,